Hey guys, today we're going to talk about River Valley civilizations. Now you can go across your house and turn on a faucet and have access to water. But early civilizations didn't have that luxury, and think of all the things you use water for. It's a pretty long list. And so these early civilizations had to build up their societies on water in order to survive. Okay, so there are four main civilizations that we're going to talk about today. They are Mesopotamia, Egypt, Indus Valley, and China. We also have some early civilizations that are going on in America, but they don't quite fit into the mold of the River Valley civilization, so I'm not going to talk about them a lot today, except for the Olmecs, who have the big stone heads, and that's just kind of cool. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in a further video. But as you're reading at home and you're reading your textbook, be sure to take notes about these early American civilizations. I'm just not going to go into them today. So our early civilizations are called River Valley civilizations because they're built up along rivers. So for example, in Mesopotamia you have the Tigris and Euphrates River. In the Indus River Valley you have the Indus River. In China you have the Yellow River. And in Egypt you have the Nile River. In addition to being built up along rivers, there are other common characteristics in these River Valley civilizations. And so today we're going to go through a few of them, and I'm going to give you some information to put in each of these categories, but I'm not going to cover all of the civilizations. In your reading, be sure that you're getting that information and you write down what goes for each of these characteristics. So the first characteristic is advanced governments. Now in hunting-gathering society and even early farming society, you have either an elder, a group of elders, or a kinship group, a family group that makes the decisions for the group, that is the government. In our early River Valley civilizations, you have a king or a pharaoh or a priest that sits atop of the government and runs the civilization. Also, in these governments, you have a social class system that dictates either your place in the society, what jobs you can have, etc. And so I'm not going to go into specifics about each one. You need to look that up on your own. But it's something like at the top you have a priest or a king or a pharaoh, and below that you have a group of nobles, and below that you have an artisan or a merchant group, and below that you have either a lower class or slaves. So again, as you're reading, be sure to write down the specifics for each civilization, their class system. That'll be something important to know. Another characteristic is legal codes. All of these civilizations have some sort of legal code. The one that you need to really know is the Code of Hammurabi in Mesopotamia. This is a hardcore law code. For example, let's say that someone's son dies in your yard, and it's no fault of yours. He just dies by accident. Say he's working on the house and a beam falls on his head and he dies. Then your son is killed, or your nephew is killed. Whatever your next of kin is, that's the oldest male child. So this is pretty harsh, and that's what the Code of Hammurabi is. It's eye for eye, tooth for tooth type law code. And it's important because it's going to influence our law codes later down that aren't going to be quite as harsh, but we'll see some characteristics that link back to the Code of Hammurabi. Another characteristic is specialized jobs. We don't need everyone to go out and find food. We have some people that can sit around and think, that can come up with new ideas, that can make new products, that can run the government, that can collect money from people, so like scribes, artisans, merchants, tax collectors, government officials, religious officials, etc. Another characteristic is advanced technology, the main one being iron tools. So we had stone tools, then bronze tools, now we have iron tools that work better than bronze tools or stone tools did. Another technology is chariots. I'm sure you've seen chariots in movies. If you've watched any movies about Egypt, then you've seen chariots. I'll put a picture up here. And chariots are important because A, they move people around quicker, and B, they move goods around quicker. It's kind of the early car. Another characteristic is religion. All of these civilizations have some sort of religion, whether it's polytheistic, which means many gods, or monotheistic, which means one God. And we really won't see monotheistic religions until we get to Judaism, which we'll talk about next video. Early polytheistic religions were really harsh. Like the gods in Mesopotamia, for instance, would put their wrath or bring out their wrath upon humans whenever they felt like it. If they were angry, then they were going to show it, and it didn't really matter what the humans did. They couldn't really appease the gods or stop the gods or even cause the gods to be angry with them. If the gods were angry just because they were angry, then they would put their wrath upon the humans. Now, when we move to more monotheistic religions like Judaism, where we have a covenant relationship between God and man, and we see that God's interested in man's well-being, and that man has this relationship with God, then we see religion toned down a little bit, where the gods aren't as harsh, or at least aren't as mean. Another characteristic is advanced architecture. The main example being the pyramids. Most of our early civilizations are going to have some sort of pyramid. Now, you probably know about the pyramids in Egypt, which are tombs for the pharaohs, but I want to talk to you about the pyramids in Mesopotamia, known as the ziggurats. Now, the ziggurats are really cool because they're like City Hall or the town center or downtown, that everything that's anything goes down around the ziggurats. Government work, business work, trading, the marketplace, everything that's anything in town goes down around the ziggurat. Some other examples of advanced architecture include temples and roads and irrigation systems, and we'll see this advance more so, especially in period 2 China and Rome. Another characteristic is system of writing. The first system of writing is known as cuneiform, and it's a picture system of writing, similar to hieroglyphics, where you have pictures that represent a word or an event that's going on. We move away from picture-based writing to alphabet-based writing with the Phoenicians, where you have letters that match a certain sound, and you use those letters together to sound out a word or to make a word. The final characteristic is trade. Now, we know from artifacts that these civilizations traded with each other. There have been coins from Mesopotamia found in the Indus River area. There have been coins from the Indus River found in Egypt. Okay, so let's review. Early civilizations are built up around rivers. We have 4 river valley civilizations. Each have similar characteristics. If you don't know what the rivers are, if you don't know what our civilizations are, if you don't know these characteristics, you need to go back, rewatch this video, take some notes. And I hope that you use the notes from the video to help you in your reading. You can just add in or fill in details from your reading, and hopefully you can use those details or those facts and write an essay. So I know I went through these river valley civilizations really quickly, and I'm sorry. We have a lot of information to get through. If you're interested, I'll link some Crash Course videos down below. And if you don't know about Crash Course, you're missing out. They have tons of videos about different subjects and a whole course for world history. I'm going to link several with my videos. I'm also going to recommend this book, The History of the World in 6 Classes. I'll put a link below to it where you can buy it on Amazon. It's really good for students taking AP World History because it divides up history into time periods where you have a drink associated with each time period. And so what the author does is he links facts and links themes for the time period to each drink, and it helps you remember what each time period is, the themes of each time period, information that goes with each time period. So if you are someone that has trouble associating facts with a time period, this would be a great book for you. It's an interesting read. It's not that thick. Highly recommend it. I know a lot of people do it for summer reading. When you take AP World History, really great book. Next time we're going to talk about Judaism and Father Abraham. No, not that Abraham. Yes, that Abraham. I'll see you next time.